All right, good evening. It's Monday. I'm Jessica Siobhan, and I'm going to work on painting my chicken, Cher. I am listening to some tunes on Artlist radio by Lewis Island, and I don't know, I've been really digging this guy. He's great. It's like every song I can chill out, and I was really tired the last time I did this. I'm back in the classroom, so late nights, early mornings, and I was exhausted, and I didn't even do this last Monday. Life just happens. So here I am, I'm back, and I'm ready to finish this, okay? So I'm sorry if I'm not well prepared. I have my brushes over here, and I've got my water for drinking and my water for cleaning. Gotta make sure those are in two very different places, because I tend to drink my paint water, not intentionally, but I need to get some paint. I didn't even get paint out. I was working on the lighting for this. It took forever, and it's still not perfect, but I just had this big glare, and I was trying to get rid of that. So I'm going to start getting my paints together. And I also reprinted my photo reference, so give me just a second. So I'm hoping to get the background on today. So usually I have my paint already ready, but I don't know. Like I said, just moving a little slow today, but that's okay. It's good to move slow sometimes, right? I don't think we allow ourselves the grace to move slow. Anyway, if you hear a little poot sound, it's the paint, I swear. So I'm working with some blues. Let's see, I'll need a yellow. I'm gonna work on the background tonight. I think I'm kind of done with the chicken. I've got to stop obsessing over waddles. Remember, you gotta, well, I mean, this is a kid's show, but if you have a glass of wine, take a sip every time I say waddle. Alright, so I'm gonna need some blues and yellows. And I've got my palette over here, and I'm using a little disposable palette. I don't use this all the time, but I do love having a disposable palette, and I will reference that later in the sped up version of this. So I do work with Dick Blick. I've been working with them for years as an educator in high school, and I always use their products when I would order for my students, so they're a brand I trust. So most of the things you see I get from Dick Blick. Yay! So they are a great online art store, and then you're not, buying on Amazon. You're buying from a really great company. And it ain't Hobby Lobby either, if you know what I'm saying. It's so funny. I have all the colors but the one I said I was going to grab, which is yellow. Just because the stars out doesn't mean we need to sleep. So I wrote her a love song to show her how I feel, to tell her she is all I ever need. That was the paint, I swear. We'll have a little game. Is it a poot? Or is it paint? Poot or paint? Isn't that exciting? Okay. Let's get weird. And go for it. gotta figure out my mic situation. I gotta figure out a lot of things. Alright, so I'm not totally done with the sky, but I'm anxious to get into the flowers and stuff that I'm gonna add at the base. So why don't we just do that? I'm even going to look at my phone every now and then to look at reference photos. So, for instance, I want to look up Texas wildflowers. And yes, you can use ChatGPT to help you. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've used it in times when I'm like, I want to see what this body shape looks like sitting on a lily pad or something like that. And it is very useful, but just be really careful that you're not putting something in ChatGPT and then, just copying it exact. I mean, it's a helpful tool, but I truly encourage to use it as a helpful tool, but not speaking your voice. Don't let it speak your artistic voice, because nothing can duplicate that, right? So I'm looking up Texas wildflowers on my phone, and I do kind of want something like that in the background. I love Texas wildflowers. I'm from Athens, Texas, originally. It's my home, and it's always been good to me. So home is the place that's just been good to you, right? And maybe that wasn't your childhood home, but maybe it's a home that you create. So maybe you don't even have a real home yet, but you will. You just break the cycle. Okay. So being that these are acrylic, I'm going to start kind of light to dark. And yes, I just licked my brush. You can't see that, but hey, if you want a nice point on that brush, sometimes you gotta lick it. You gotta lick it. Okay, so I'm gonna start with a really light yellow-green. Sorry, my personality is, I teach high school, so I try to be helpful, humorous, and a little weird, and make them a little uncomfortable. Because it's good for you to feel uncomfortable sometimes, and, a useful way. Anyway, so, I'm just dotting in. These are going to be some little yellow flowers in the background. That brush is too big. I'm going to do a tinier brush, and look at. There you go. Look at that nice point. Ooh, so satisfying. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Helps if you make sound effects. Doot, 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 doot. You weren't expecting an ASMR episode, were you? Nothing more relaxing than hearing me say doot, 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 doot. Oh my gosh, I'm getting crazy. I just love dots. Like Bob Ross loved trees, I freaking love dots. You will notice that. Like, I get so excited about dots. I can just add little dots. Sunlight dances on the balcony as I wait for thee to come home. Alright, little dots. And Texas wildflowers. Oh, there's nothing like them. I mean, I love wildflowers, but there is nothing more beautiful than a Midwest field in the spring, early summer, There's little Indian paintbrush flowers and blue bonnets, Indian blankets. I don't know that that's their scientific name, but that's what I grew up calling them. Buttercups, little asters. They were like yellow but purplish white petals. They're just so pretty. It's my favorite time of year. It's right about now, when all the wildflowers are blooming. And my dear friend Leslie, it's a crazy story that she lives in my childhood home, just around, we sold it, my childhood home, and a sweet lady named Leslie lives there now, and we're dear friends, so I get to go back home, and it's amazing. It's such a blessing. I'll tell the whole story one day. To be honest, I'm kind of tired of telling stories this week. I've had a lot of stories to tell this week, and I am tired of telling stories. I'm so sorry. I feel like this red that I'm trying to get is going to explode and going to sound really surprisingly nasty. So I'm going to try to save you from hurting your ears with a bloop sound. Okay. So now I'm trying to get that Indian paintbrush color. And the Indian paintbrush flower is like a bright reddish orange. It's my favorite flower. I actually have it tattooed on my arm. But anyway, I love that. Oop, I'll get my reference back. So yeah, nothing is more beautiful than the way nature puts colors together. Isn't that so crazy? Like the complementary color of orange is blue. And then you've got your primary colors, which are red, blue, and yellow. And there's something about Texas wildflowers. It's like all the colors, the secondary colors, and then the complementary colors, and they're just bursting everywhere. It is. It's my favorite time of year. Some of these I'll get a little more detailed as they come closer to the foreground. So in perspective, whenever you're painting, things that are far away will be smaller, and the things that are up close will be bigger. So I don't even have to really add like detail to these flowers. I can just make them bigger blotches of orange and kind of start showing that distance, and your mind will already tell you Texas wildflower. You don't even have to analyze the shape of it. You'll just know. Or you'll just think, wow, I really like those flowers. We're not going to get super detailed with those. I almost did it. I almost put my brush in my drinking water. Oops. Where was I? The trick here is I want to keep it kind of dark, like the moonlight. Like, I want to keep it kind of dark. So that's going to be the trick. And luckily, these bluebells are blue, so that'll darken things up. And the bluebells are a little taller, so I'll just and I'll make these blotches a little taller up in the front so that they look like they're closer. And I'm starting with darker colors because I'm gonna lighten up. And you can't even add enough of these little dots. Yeah, so the artist I'm listening to is Lewis Island. I am really loving his stuff. Okay. Alright, I need to move my waters. It's getting dangerous over here. So I always have a towel, like a dirty towel. I don't use paper towels. When you're painting, just have a dirty towel. And I wear a smock. Even when I'm at home, I wear a smock. I mean, you will always, you'll always say, I won't get it on. I'll be really careful. It does not, I don't know that I have any clothes that don't have paint on them. So I'm trying to be better. This is an improved version. So I'm adding really tiny little dots in the background. And I feel like this is more of, I'm going to add a little more of an orange. So I'm going to mix my yellow with a little orange. Because I feel like there's more of a golden. There we go, perfect. You might not be able to notice that, but it just warms it up a little. And I hope everyone spoiled their moms on Mother's Day, or a woman who you admire as a mother. Mother's Day. I have a lot of mothers. A lot of women in my life that are like mothers to me, and I just try to spread that because it just feels so good to have a good mom, someone who just, there's nothing better. And some of us don't, we don't get that, whether it's our moms are gone or made mistakes. So don't think you're lacking. There's always someone, some wonderful person willing to fill the void, whatever the void may be. We are not lacking in love. Okay. And if you don't have anybody that loves you, get a dog. And if that dog don't love you, there's something wrong with you, and you need to reassess. Dogs are they just, I never even liked dogs very much till I got my dog. And I have a little blue heeler. And like I said, I didn't even like dogs. Can you believe? I was more of a cat person. I had a bunny rabbit. And then I got this beautiful blue heeler. And oh my goodness. I don't think I've ever loved so much. So I'm adding a little violet. I'm just popping in these little wildflowers. Getting lost. And maybe I'll make a few a little bigger. of white because guess what? Love dots. I love dots. I love dots. I need to make a theme song. Dots, 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 dots. Dots. Oh, okay, just getting crazy. Oh, I got too crazy and my dots got too big. I have to make these bigger. Dang, why'd I do that? The dots are too big. I gotta calm that down.
I know a place where we can go and be alone.
Okay, calmed it down.
So come away.
You know what? I'm going to do an Indian blanket flower. Maybe I'll do some just down here. Oh my gosh, am I just changing everything? No. I don't know. Let's see.
I was just calling to see if you're free to run away with me.
Oh, you know, in my yard, I'm in Virginia now, but in my yard were the most beautiful clovers. That's what I want to put in. I like to combine, I'm inspired by nature. And so, you know, it's like cultures, it's like music. Combine different elements from different places, combine different sounds. Yeah, crimson clovers. It's so funny, I had never seen them grow here. I mean, I've seen the purple ones, but I've seen them before, but not, gosh, I mean, they are just really beautiful, the crimson. Okay, so I'm looking at a reference of those, and then my Texas Indian blanket flower. And I'm on the East Coast in Virginia now, but I have seen the Indian paintbrush flowers in the Outer Banks, actually. All right. You're like, this is so boring. Can we speed it up? Yes, we're going to speed it up. Flower time. Flower time. All right, so I'm just going to add some green down here. Let's see if I can.
Put your lips on mine. I love it when we hide in the pale blue
Get it to where
sky.
you can see this green.
Floating on cloud nine.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna put green on top, and we're gonna have
'Cause what goes up must always come back down.
flowers in front of our chicken here.
Like the light in the day never part. I'm looking down the line with you by my side.
And I don't have a plan right now. I mean, I always try to have somewhat of a plan. But for this, I'm just kind of going with it. Once I have, like, you know, the main part of then you can start. Well, you can do whatever you want, but I like to have, 80% of the plan and then kind of make it up as I get more inspired. So it usually starts with me finding a reference photo. So I found, this chicken photo. This is, and I'm doing a series. It turns out I like chickens. I did a little painting 3 little paintings for a local art show called the Mighty Minis. And I just had so much fun painting these chickens. And my students always said I should start painting, like doing online tutorials. And I thought, God, I used to love watching Bob Ross. And the kids at school love watching me paint because I paint on a document camera for them sometimes. And so I just thought, why not? And if anybody watches, great. If you don't, well, yeah, I have a good time. I ain't hurting nobody. Alright, so I decided to give her some more detail in the wildflower action. Down here. So the center of So this is what the Indian paintbrush flower looks like. I'm sure you've seen them somewhere. I've seen them, like I said, in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Alright, so it starts, I'll show you kind of how I'm doing this. So it starts with that red center. I like to start with the center. Alright. And then I'm going to go ahead and just start going around and around. Because this whole flower, if you really look underneath, it is kind of that bright red. Alright. And then the center, I'm almost seeing like a dark, dark violet. So right here in the center, dark, dark violet. Alright. And watch as I start building this up. Which paintbrush? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna now go with an orange, like a little lighter than that violety red, and I'll come around. And this is where acrylics are fun to work with when you're not trying to get it super blendy, you're just trying to, have a little more mark making. That's where acrylics really are fun. So I'm not sure which I like better. It depends on the project as far as acrylics and oils. I guess if I want to get something done kind of fast, which I'm on part 4 here, so that says nothing, but if I had done this in oils, it would take me a year, because I'd just be trying to blend everything perfectly, and I mean, you can already see it's hard for me to loosen up with acrylics, so but that's just how I like to paint, so take it or leave it. So I'm just building up this, being careful not to add white. I'm wanting to brighten up my orange, but I don't want to add white, because something about white, it like things get muddy looking or muted, I don't know. So I'm just kind of doing an impressionisty abstract, maybe? People like to say abstract when it looks like crap. Whenever my students say they spend a lot of time on a piece, and they know I'm kind of judging it, but it's abstract.
Keep your eyes on the horizon.
So there's abstract art, and then there is non-objective. So I guess you could consider them both abstract, but when you see a painting and it's like a Picasso and it looks like a face, but it looks like a really weird version of a face, that would be abstract. But if you're looking at a Jackson Pollock where the paint is just kind of thrown all over the place, that is non-objective because it's not meant to look like anything. Just FYI, in case you were wondering. I never really knew there was a difference until I started teaching and I had to learn all this vocabulary. I was like, I don't want to know vocabulary, I just want to paint and draw. So as far as being the person to teach you dates and exactly terms and things like that, I know just enough. I know all you need to know to get by. But art should be about your voice. And so while I'm waiting on that, I'm going to go ahead on the center here. And it's like a bright yellow. Right in the center. And then it has not that bright a yellow on the outside, but different little doot, 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 doot. Keep it abstract, not blending everything just perfect, but you can tell that that is a little Indian paintbrush or blanket. Loved the Native American culture in Oklahoma and Texas. A little mix of Native American and people from Mexico, and it's they just make it such a beautiful place, beautiful, interesting cultures, and yeah. I love how their cultures are so bright and vibrant, just like the wildflowers. And resilient. Resilient, like a wildflower. There's a lot we can learn from all these different cultures. This flower's starting to look like doo-doo, so I'm gonna set that aside and go back to it. I'm going to... Oh, why does it do that? I wanted to look up Texas wildflower bouquet, and it took me to Texas wildflower tattoo, which is not what I wanted. Okay. You know what? This is where I'm gonna go to my own reference. I haven't been to Texas in a while, so it might take me a minute. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that pretty? That's, this was a very rare find. It was a yellow Indian paintbrush flower. Isn't that insane? I had never seen one of those. Maybe it's not that insane, but gosh, I thought it was crazy. I hate it when the water drips down your brush. I just dried my brush off, I thought, but not good enough. And these are going to be those little aster flowers. And I'm just adding, you'll see these will build up. I'm wanting the paint to dry, so I'm just kind of I'm trying to think of where light would be hitting these tiny little flowers. So if my moon's up here, then it'll be kind of coming in on the top here. So I'm just kind of thinking, like, if I were the moonlight, where would I be hitting? And she's covering this one up, so this one might be a little darker. I don't know. We'll play with it. Play with it. I feel like that one got a little too light. And these are, like I said, these little tiny aster flowers. They're really tiny little leaves. So I'm gonna try, but I'm also not going to lose myself just trying to get every petal. But I need to get out to Texas soon. And pick some wildflowers. Be so good for my soul. And see my friends. I am so lucky to have homes or to be able to call two places home, Texas and Virginia. It's just been so good for my soul, like to have an open field to go to and also have a beach to go to and that culture, and yeah, I'm very blessed. I really love my two hometowns. Okay. Not much of a city girl. But I could see myself living in a city for just a couple months maybe. I went to Chicago with my dad and I really liked Chicago. I think I'd always been to New York, but I'd never been to Chicago. And we went to Chicago for the first time last summer and I just loved Chicago. The food, oh, so good. Neglecting these little aster flowers over here, so let me give them some love. And it's a Monday, so we have the whole week. School is almost out for us. And I find myself every year like, I want to teach them one more thing. So this way I can still be kind of teaching, because I do miss that a lot in the summer. It's kind of like culture shock when you're a teacher going from, class every day and teaching every day, and then just, being able to relax or whatever you do in the summer. Some teachers work other jobs, but I try to stay busy. So I'm doing the middle of these little aster flowers. I'm starting with a green. I always start with the darkest color first. So I'm going to bop some yellow and dots. Heyo. I love dots. I freaking love dots. So I'm just taking all the dot opportunities that I can. And so then, boop, boop, boop. Oh my gosh. Who doesn't love dots? So satisfying, right? I can't even see it. But trust me, it's glorious. Glorious little dots. Lightweight. Because they are lightweight. Little daisy kind of flowers. I think I could fine tune the one that's closest. Okay, now that that's orange on the Indian blanket flower has dried. Hopefully I can get that a little brighter. Yeah, there we go. Just needed a minute to dry. Ah, shoot. Sorry, it's one of those water piddles. Those. Like it just drips the water out on them. I think I get it out of the brush and then it just full of surprises. Okay. So here we are, new week. It's Monday. New week to try to be better, right? And I have been tried lately, but it's okay. The great thing about getting older is you learn how to deal with the things that happen in your life that are unexpected or, I don't know, sometimes scary.
Later on in the night,
And
when
when you are a good person and you work on yourself,
we could talk,
it's really cool when you get older because you're like, oh my god, I know I can survive anything. So you just seem a little more laid back. And if you're not that way, I highly suggest
cancel
try.
all our plans.
just try to be
We don't need
grateful
a
even for
reason
the hard
why
times.
we just can't.
In teaching, I like to, when I fall asleep, I try to think of my students and be grateful for each one. It's like counting sheep. I'll just think of each student, and even the ones that can be kind of turds and give me a hard time and I just say thank you for that student. Like, thank you for bringing them into my life. I'm sure they're teaching me something. Hopefully I'm teaching them something that they don't even realize yet. But everyone comes into your life for a reason. And there's always a lesson. And the lessons don't stop. So I'm sorry if that sounds discouraging, but it's not, because the other side is always so beautiful that when you're older or even younger, I know a lot of resilient young people who have been through so much and they know how beautiful things are on the other side. I kind of want to get these fuchsia. Like, I know I said I wanted the little red clovers, but those fuchsia ones are so pretty. I'll get to that. And art is so good for healing the mind, just taking time for yourself. Instead of being in your thoughts. It's like, yeah, I've always tried to treat my classes like an art therapy. It's very important that we have arts right now. I feel like my students, a lot of them, I know I wouldn't even want to go to school if I didn't have art class. So we need to keep the arts in school. And here in Virginia Beach, we just lost a lot of funding for our Museum of Contemporary Art. So just make sure you guys are advocating for the arts. I know art has saved a lot of... It saved me. So if it can save me, I imagine there's a lot of people out there that feel the same way. I'm just going to put a little blue bonnet right here on top of things I've done, whatever. No fear. It's paint. If you mess it up, you just paint right over it. But like our good man Bob would say, there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. I mean, I always loved that saying, but I also hated it because I'm like, no, Bob, this is not I'm not happy about this accident. More like, there are no mistakes, just accidents. Okay. And said I'm kind of these are very impressionisty little flowers. not even sure how I feel about them, to be honest. Just layer, layer, layer. My white is getting a little thick. Attempt a Indian paintbrush. I want to do. I want to do like a violet fuchsia daisy looking flower. But I'm also very lazy and don't want to get the color I need or where I'm going. This one will do a poot sound for sure. Oh, okay. And I'm using Blick acrylics. That's my chair, I swear. But yeah, I think I said that before. Love Blick. Ordered from them for a long time. And so when I use their products, try to let you know what I'm using. I'm trying to get thick with this paint. I could add a gesso. Just trying to be simple. The gesso will kind of thicken up your paint. There are other mediums you can do, but it's already a lot for me just to get out paint. So I try to keep it simple. I need to let that dry. It's not going anywhere. Gosh, I guess this painting is gonna take a while because it's almost time for bed. I always say I think I'm gonna be done. But why rush? I don't know. When you have a fun project, I guess you guys are kind of getting sick of this same painting though. Or maybe I'm just getting sick of it and I'm blaming you. I have no rhyme or reason right now. I'm just popping in colors and flowers. Where's that water pedal? Gosh. It's this brush handle. This brush handle is retaining water.
lose track of time. Darling, stay for a little longer while I hold your time. We'll wait, so just let your head up on my shoulder. Nothing I wait, it's colder, but the day's not over yet. So many nights watching go by. As we fight off the cold, then you're tired. You know just what I'm thinking. I don't want this moment to go. No, I don't want this moment to go. Let's lose track of time. Darling, stay for a little longer while I hold your time. We'll wait, so just rest your head up on my shoulder. Nothing I wait, it's colder, but the day's not over yet.
Okay, I'm gonna try to make these bluebells look a little more like bluebells. Lights.
Making our way to a distant place, just us two, somewhere new. Watch the sky fade into the night. With you, my arms, nothing can go wrong. We'll fall asleep on a starlit beach, just us two, somewhere new. Somewhere new.
I want some of these
Just us two.
clover.
I'll follow you to somewhere new. Somewhere new.
Yeah, the purple and yellow. It's getting late. Excuse me. I guess I'll go for 10 more minutes. start cleaning it up. I thought for sure I'd be finishing this up tonight, but what's the rush? Alright, I'm so close to being done. I'm gonna try to do my dot thing. But wait, there's more. This is where a good little gel pen comes into play. Dots. Yay for dots. These white gel pens can be finicky. Alright, I swear I'm almost done. Almost. Done? Is it done? I don't know. Is anything ever done? Certainly done for now. So that was hour and 40 minutes. And I will speed this up, do a little sped up version. But thank you to anyone who watched, and if you didn't, it's alright. I had a good time just hanging out. Gives me an excuse to paint, and that's always a good thing. Even if I paint and it looks like crap, I still never have regrets starting the process. But anyway, thank you for going on this little moonlit wildflower path with me, and have a good night.